Don't hesitate in making this homemade pizza for your weeknight holiday cooking. In less than 30 minutes, you will have a delicious, beautiful pizza to serve your family. So let's get started. The base of our pizza is this Mission's flour tortillas. And then, instead of cooking the pasta sauce, we're going to be using the Hunt's pasta sauce. And it really is delicious. So I've poured it into this bowl with a ladle, and I am going to take the time to get everything in place. We're going to place 2 on each tray. 2 on each tray. Now they're going to overlap a little, and that's okay. Now once you get the tortillas on the tray, you're going to be ready to add the goodness. So let's get our ladle, let's get our Hunt's tomato pasta sauce, and let's start to spread that pasta sauce. Now I'm going to leave about a 1/2 inch around each of these pieces. And if you want more pasta sauce, you could certainly do that. But because we're making thin crust pizzas, I'm not going to over ladle the pasta sauce on these because I don't want them to get too wet. I want that crust to remain nice and crispy like it should. So I'm just ladling and putting that on, and it's going to be absolutely delicious. Now, so we got our last one. The only thing you have to do once we get this pasta sauce on is to start to put on the toppings. And you know what? The toppings are up to you. Now, what I did was that I had some Italian sausage that I had cooked earlier in the week, and I broke that into smaller pieces so that I could use it on my pizza. So you're going to see me taking that sausage, and I'm just going to spread it all over each of these pieces because each one's going to be the same. And actually, I'm preparing enough that I can have a couple for another night. And so or even for lunch if we decide to do it for lunch. And that way you can just run it back in the oven and toast up the bottoms and get them nice and crispy again. So I'm adding sausage. And then I also have some of the little pepperonis that you get, that little pepperoni slices. And I've chopped those so that they're not whole and they'll be easy to bite. And we're going to add some of those on as well. Now, this sausage that's being added is hot sausage. And fortunately, it's not extremely hot. So, a child would probably, might say it's a little spicy, but probably not. My grandkids are a little sensitive to heat, and they have no problem with this sausage. So this is the hot sausage. So you just kind of have to know what you're doing. Okay, so this is our little cut up pieces of pepperoni that I've got in my other bowl, and I'm sprinkling those on. Now, can you tell that we're the meat lovers? And so we've got lots of meat that we're putting in. You could add bacon, you could add ham, you could add whatever you want. If you'd rather have ground beef rather than sausage, you could certainly do that. Or you could get a mild or medium sausage as well. So I'm sprinkling the sausage on. So that's the pepperoni that's on. And we're going to add in, we need some veggies after all. We've got all this meat. We need veggies. So I have cut up some veggies, and I've got some onions, some red peppers that are cut up, and I'm going to place those on this pizza. Just sprinkle some on. I'm kind of dividing them up. Now, fresh vegetables have a tendency sometimes to be a little bit watery, so I'm not going to put a ton on my pizza because I don't want a lot of moisture. I want to make sure that the bottom of this pizza stays dry enough to get to be nice and crispy. like a regular thin crust pizza. But for a weeknight meal, this is the best deal going. You don't even need to prepare these pizzas in advance. You don't have to buy a pizza crust. You certainly don't have to make your pizza dough or have to wait for it to rise. So these are nice, fast pizzas. And actually, the kids can do them themselves or even fix them for the family. And in no time, you're ready to go. So there we go. Now, what's missing? The cheese. So we're going to be ready to put cheese on. I'm adding parm, and that's where I'm starting. Now, you know what? Thought I had a bag of mozzarella, but I didn't. So I'm going to add this Parmesan cheese on. As you can see, I'm sprinkling it on. And I'm also going to put some Colby Jack because that's what I thought was my Italian mix. And it wasn't. So I'm going to use what I have. Now, of course, because you're making this and you know that you're going to need it, then you could add the mozzarella cheese. But I did not buy any extra because I just knew I had the mozzarella. So I'm adding in my Colby Jack. And, there really wasn't that much of a difference, just a little difference in color. And you'll see a little more orange on top rather than the white. And, but you know what? It is a good pizza. And we like cheese. So there we go. We're putting our cheese on, getting it ready. The oven is nice and hot. I have the oven on 425. And I want that oven screaming so that in about 5 minutes, that's how quick, in about 5 to 6 minutes, this pizza is going to be nice and toasty and ready to go. So as soon as you see that the cheese is melted and that your flour tortillas are nice and golden brown, you can bring it out because it's ready to go. So we're going to stick these two pans into the oven and they're going to be ready for dinner. We've got a side salad to go along with it. And oh my goodness, it's going to be great. So I'm just adding a little more cheese. I had some cheddar cheese, shredded cheddar. So I thought, well, why not? Since I've got the Colby Jack, I might as well add in some cheddar. So, it's my pizza. I can do it the way I want. You like your pizza, you try it your way. So this really is one of those. It's a weeknight holiday meal. So our homemade pizzas are going to be unique. But the unique thing is being able to use the flour tortillas. So let's get these into the oven. If you have not watched the last weeknight meal, then you're going to find out that I set a tablescape at the end. And I showed you 2 looks for weeknight meals. And one was using a paper plate. And as you can see, this is a beautiful paper plate with a green Christmas tree, of course, and lots of presents, and our candy cane napkin. And that's what we're going to be doing tonight. That's what we're going to use tonight. So I'm just giving you a quick look because I'm about to take those paper plates off. There we go. And here are our bubbling pizzas. Look at how they look. The ends are nice and crispy. The pizza is bubbling. And we are ready to eat. So I am playing around. I'm showing you how easy it's going to be to move these. I just need a nice long spatula to slide underneath. So here's our plates. Using a spatula, I've already cut them with a pizza cutter. And, some pizza cutters cut a little better than others. But anyway, we're going to take some of this pizza, and we're going to place it right on the plate. So I am taking half. That's 1 for one person. And here's the half for the other person serving. So as you can see, this is a perfect size. And yes, they do slide, but I'm sure you'll do a little better than I did. They were pretty hot. So I left the other pizza over on the other tray. And I think the big guy is probably going to want one more piece. So I'm going to give him one more. Now, we're going to set that table, take this over to the table, and we're going to be ready to have dinner tonight. So that's one tray taken care of pretty much with just one little piece left over just in case. So our holiday weeknight dinner is complete. We have a homemade pizza in less than 30 minutes, and everybody is smiling and everyone's happy. Now, how about that? Can you beat it? Now, I want you to see how thin this pizza is, and it is delicious. It's nice and crispy, and what better way to have a thin and crispy pizza for a homemade weeknight holiday meal. I hope you enjoy and try this pizza.
I hope you have had a wonderful time in the kitchen, and I hope that you will continue to be a part of the Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme family. I have certainly enjoyed your presence.